Go live, yes. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Cardboard Conversations. We've got Matt and Bob, and we're testing.
Cheers.
We're testing some shorts interaction or shorts feed interaction, I should say. So in theory,
we're live twice times two.
Exactly. We should be streaming in your shorts feed and in the standard feed.
And my apologies. It was me that was holding us up from getting started. I had a conflict of interest of browsers where it just tech mumbo jumbo.
Yeah. But everything's squared away now. I see us both talking and moving and such in both feeds. So we'll see how it goes. So that's why you'll probably see two feeds. If this works well, you'll see two feed or two go lives. You can watch on either one of them. It's okay.
Oh, that would just be annoying.
I was just like, what are you doing?
Well, I wanted to show, because part of what I'm going to talk about tonight was part of what you and I talked about prior to the show today. Can I do this? There.
Sure.
And that is about the value of things, right? Why am I hearing an echo? I think I'm hearing an echo through your speakers.
Yeah, I was hearing an echo from you as well. Like when I talk, I hear you.
Let me... When you talk, you hear me? You mean you hear
when
yourself
I talk,
through
I hear
mine?
myself. Yes.
Okay, let me turn that down to see if that helps.
Okay.
Did that help?
I don't hear myself now.
Okay, it was just my speaker being too loud. At any rate, what Matt and I were talking about a little bit behind the scenes is some of the swag that I received, or we received, I should say, from M30, and what is the current value today, financially speaking. And that plays into a very common theme that we have here at this channel, and that is the value of things, both financial, sentimental, just what is value to you? Play value. It doesn't really matter, what kind of value you want to attach to it. But for me, and what I looked at, because we were talking about specifically, and it's just one of a number of things. These Timbuktu backpacks that we got as part of the swag bag. It's what our swag actually came in. I haven't used mine at all. You showed me an example of one that looked like it was well loved so far, and it was accepted at whatever the offer was below $99.
Yeah. It didn't look like there was many, but like you were saying, it's fairly limited, so it's kind of hard to gauge. Like the one for $99 that sold, it's possible that it was like, I don't know, the guy just took a best offer because it was maybe sitting up there for a while.
Well, and it was the only one available, right? It's not like there's 10 of them. And so it could have been just some dude that was like, I need to get this out of my house. I just don't need it anymore. I don't play Magic anymore, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So it's hard to financially gauge some of the things, especially things like this. I keep all of my badges and lanyards from every convention I go to. This happens to be, in my opinion, this was the pinnacle of the Magic 30th celebration from the very first one, and especially this Black Lotus pass, so controversial, where Matt and I got 4 packs of the M30. That's $1,000 value still today. Actually, more than that.
Yeah, 1,300, I think, is what I saw.
So, and I'm not saying that you should go out there and go to conventions for the financial gain that you have, because I would gladly trade every bit of it, my hat, my shirt, my lanyard, backpack, packs, everything. If they said, well, you could keep those or you'd have to erase your memory of the event, I would I'll hand them all over. I want to keep the memories that I have of that event. It was, that was where it was of the most value to me. God, I'm still hearing the echo.
Yeah, I hear it every now and then.
But
there should
be a part of this dual streaming.
There should be a setting inside the audio of StreamYards that is like echo cancellation.
Well, let's try that. So at any rate, I don't want to get too far off topic about echo cancellation must be off. I have echo cancellation on both tabs.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I'm not going to dwell on it. I want to stay on topic here.
Yep.
And a lot of people will sell things off immediately. Like one of the things I saw in Vegas were people selling off their packs of M30, like before we could even get out of the room. People were selling their badges, their Black Lotus badges. They were selling them to other people. And maybe some people don't have the sentimental attachment to things that I do, but I love seeing those things. The older you get, you may become more sentimental about some certain things that are, no matter how rich you are, you can't go back and attend Magic 30 in Las Vegas. That happened. It's gone. No matter that, you could be the richest person on the planet. You can't go back and experience that again. But I get to experience it slightly. Memories. It reminds me of things hanging out at the trunk of Brody's car with that asshole in the big white pickup truck honking at the three of us.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. I'm like, now Matt, in case you all don't know, Matt is a much larger person than I am. How tall are you?
6'4".
And he's not a twig of a 6'4".
No, I weigh 285 pounds.
And Brody's easily what? Your height? I think
he's pretty tall.
He's like a little taller.
Like a tall, skinny guy. He was pretty. He might be a little.
He wasn't exactly skinny. He's not skinny.
Well, compared to me, he's skinny. All right.
Okay, but all I'm saying is, I'm 5'9", 250, and we're sitting at this trunk. Not in anybody's way. We're not holding up traffic. It was like 6 or 8 lanes wide. And this asshole in this big white pickup truck, it's just honking and shit at us, like to get out of the way. And we're in the loading unloading zone of the Bellagio, or just past it, just trying to get back for our putt game. And I turn around because I'm like, dude, like, I'm not small. These guys are that large. You might want to reconsider your anger towards a group of gentlemen this big that are not causing you any trouble. What was he gonna do? I can imagine that dude stepping out of his truck. Like,
well, he's gonna honk his horn and then he's gonna move on with his life because he's in a big truck and probably has a small penis.
I'm just saying, like, what was he like? I can't imagine where that would go next from there. Like, he'd have to step out with a gun for that to get anywhere in his favor. And it just, I don't know. It was, but those are like the precious moments, the memories. That memory, even just riding with Brody, that maniac Mario Andretti driving back from the convention to downtown. That dude drove like a maniac, and he's looking in the back seat at us while he's driving 90 miles an hour on the Las Vegas highway on I-95, and he's just like turning around talking. I'm like, the road, dude, just look at the road.
I don't remember him driving like a maniac at all.
Oh my God, I do. I was actually white knuckling it in the back seat. Like,
I was completely
fine. To the road, Brody. Anyways, that was hilarious. And, just so many things that were unexpected. Getting to spend significant time with the WotC staff, that was completely unexpected.
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
Just, so many different things. And honestly, I really wish I had played less of the tournaments and spent more time with the people there. Like, that was way more to me. And the cards that we got from that, who gives a shit? Like, just anything that we got as far as like Magic cards mean nothing to me. Like, literally, I don't even remember what we got, let alone. Well, I do remember getting the Demonic Tutor.
Okay, you remember the Demonic Tutor? Weird. That's a pretty fun story.
That's the only one I remember, though. But come on, that's pretty weird. If you were in any draft, that would have been like, what? What are you doing, bro?
Yeah, it was
over
a pretty
$35 uncommon.
It was a pretty strange thing, but
And that's a powerful card too. It's not like just it's completely unusable, expensive card that really probably not going to help you much. And I don't know. It was just okay. So that was one that stood out, but seeing the little Fibblethip in the hallway, and I never did get whatever it was. It was a secret lair they were giving out when you found it.
Yeah, we never really we probably should have pursued that a little more, but we never really did it.
I got picked. You know what? It's a screensaver on my phone. I can't show you because it's what I'm using for a camera, but it's because I was standing there at the Fibblethip. It was just, you remember? I was like, oh, this is fucking cool. I want to take a picture of me with this, right?
Yeah,
like that was, and us broadcasting outside, sitting on the sidewalk in front of the convention hall at night, trying to capture things. People bitching at us about sideways videos that we put up with with the M30 packs because we suck and we're flexing or whatever the hell that was. Like, bro, you realize these $1,000 packs pale in comparison to the probably $4 or $5 grand each, we spent cumulatively on even getting there, plus the VIP passes. It's like, okay, that's not real flexing in life. I'm sorry. If you think that flexing 4 packs of M30 is flexing, you probably need to reevaluate what flexing means to you.
Yeah, we were more just trying to bring attention to it. It wasn't really
right. It was like, oh, hey, there's a cool hot thing off the presses that people would love. Of course, there's always haters, always haters. That guy would love, if he was watching our show right now, to know that he got under my skin a little bit about that. Feeding the trolls.
Yeah, I don't really care about trolls like at all, but
I care. I wish we had more, because it would mean that we've arrived, that we made it. The more trolls you get, clearly the more popular you are.
Yeah.
We need more haters out there, folks.
Yeah, it was a good experience overall. I mean, I had a lot of fun. I kept everything as far as Magic 30 is concerned. Actually, my favorite memorabilia from the experience was the signed playmats. I still have both of them. I didn't sell any of them. I thought I would sell one.
I've got everything.
I thought I would sell one. That's why I had them signed 2. Because there's the one playmat that I actually really like, and then there's one that I don't really care for, as far as like the art itself. But I just don't really have them, I guess, or need or motivation to sell them.
Right.
They probably would go for a lot. Sheldon Menery, he passed away. Typically, when people pass away, their signature becomes more valuable, stuff like that. I just enjoy the memory more than the potential money that I might get from it, I guess.
There it is.
Yeah. That's a good place for it too. I like that.
On the inside of my Commander deck box.
Yeah. That's a really good place.
I'll be honest with you. I was far more impressed and enjoyed Gavin than I did Sheldon.
Well, we didn't get a chance to play with him.
Because I didn't want to stand.
I would have liked.
I didn't want to stand in line with other people, and honestly, he just didn't seem to have the infectious personality that Gavin has.
Gavin was awesome. I wish I could keep in touch with him, but it seems like it's hard to keep that line.
I'm sure he's a busy dude.
Sure. Yeah.
You cannot stay in touch with every transient person that's touched your life at some point. Especially somebody like him, who I'm sure travels a shit ton, goes to different conventions, and he just seems like a very affable guy that's probably got a busy life.
Twiddler says, "Where's your Magic 31 stuff, Bob?"
Where are you seeing that? I'm not seeing it.
It's in the shorts one.
Oh, we have to switch back and forth?
Yeah, so what I did was I did like the split window thing, where you like slam it to one side of the window, and then you can have the other window on one side. This is just a test. If this works out well, I think there's programs, or there's better ways to do it than just double StreamYard. I don't know that double StreamYard is the best way to do it, but I just know that it's a way to do it. Like there's plugins for like OBS that allow you to do it as well. So if this works out well and people enjoy having the vertical version and then the StreamYard version, then we'll figure out some way to like join the chat so people can actually like still interact with each other as well.
Sure. The only irritating part for me is that I can't, I have to flip back and I do have another monitor. I guess I should.
Well, no, you can split the window in half.
So I have another monitor. Why not just put one on one monitor and one on the other? That way I can see both.
I have 3 monitors, but I have other stuff that I want to look at while I'm.
I do not. I am here. I am engaged with everybody, and
well, no, I'm talking about. I want to talk about stuff that I have, for the people. Like for instance,
for the people.
This is another year that's really cool for anniversaries for the WotC Sphere. D&D 50th anniversary is this year for D&D.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
Well, but how do they gauge that? I've looked. Let's see what thing your background.
Yeah, it's the 50, like right by my name.
Oh, it's like hidden underneath your name.
Yeah, they have like a wallpaper 50th anniversary. So I was trying to see.
By the way, for those of you on the vertical, you can't see that. It's off screen to his right.
Yeah,
underneath his name.
You're gonna get some 50. Stuff cut off, unfortunately, because that's just how vertical works.
Well, I can
like maybe do what if I do this? That doesn't do it.
Nope, that makes it worse. Nope. None
of these are working. That doesn't work at all. No, No.
Oh, now you mucked it up.
No, I can get it back. Maybe. There we go.
There you go.
All right. Yeah, as far as
So,
D&D 50th anniversary is concerned, if you're in the D&D sphere, one of the cool things is this is the year that they're releasing it's called I think they're still going with D&D 1, where it's basically Dungeons and Dragons 5.5, like it's like a middle edition. The reason why they're calling it D&D 1, which I don't like the name, but I get the idea. It's supposed to be the last edition that they plan to release, but they're still going to release content for it. But they're trying to make the best thing they can for D&D. And people, the majority of people like 5th edition. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to take 5th edition and then improve upon everything that needs improving, and then that should be the last edition they need to make, and then they'll just add stuff to it. That's the idea. The stuff that I've seen for D&D 1 is pretty crazy. There's some nerfs to things that probably need it, like paladins. Being able to like burst Nova down bosses in like a round or two is a problem. So they're nerfing like Paladin Smite, for instance. You can't smite just on every attack. It's once per turn and as a bonus action. So they nerfed Paladins like pretty heavily. But we're not going to go into
well, I'll be honest with you. D&D in its current state with fifth edition, it feels like it's D&D bloat. Like there's just too much to me. I think for those that haven't gone through a progression of different versions of D&D, that it might be beneficial to come back with a D&D classic, not the original, because that was really punishing, right? Like you could die at any moment. You could be a 5th level dude and fighting a level 1 dude and just, oh, well, you got smacked by a level 1 kobold and now you're dead. It's like, wait, what? So there were things that needed to be tuned, but I feel like they could benefit, in getting rid of some of like the encumbrances and basically like a D&D light for something that's not quite so intimidating, to newer people, so to speak.
Yeah.
Because even at level 1 with 5th edition, and it's not like I'm not like you. I'm not well versed in D&D. It's been 30 years since I played it, but it was a bit overwhelming. Like I had to do some studying to really wrap my head around many of the concepts, and that's just trying to start a game, right? With an experienced dungeon master. Imagine a group of kids that, or even adults for that matter, because it's not just a kids game, that don't really have the time to invest into it and don't really have a knowledge base to pull from, right? I think that they could benefit from something a bit. Isn't that the kind of idea-ish of Pathfinder? They kind of made some of the stuff a little more streamlined, a little easier level of entry.
From what I understand, Pathfinders, I actually don't know a lot about Pathfinder, but they like kind of took away the what's a bonus action, what's an action, how much movement. Everything's just actions. Like literally just movement. If you want to move, you use an action. If you want to attack, you use an action. If you want to attack 3 times, you use all 3 of your actions. You just get 3 actions per turn. Everything you do is an action. You don't have to worry about bonus action. What have you done this turn? What haven't you done? You just keep track of how many actions you have. So they've tried to streamline that, but I think it gets a little funky because like if you make multiple attacks per turn with using more actions than one, you like start incurring penalties to your attack. You get like a -5 and then a -10 for every like attack past the first one. So then it starts getting muddy again, in my opinion. So
okay, I could be wrong. I've only like sort of glanced over it, and okay, it's basically D&D. I don't understand why you'd play Pathfinder over D&D.
I think they're doing the same thing as D&D 1, is they're making like a Pathfinder revised or something like that, where they're trying to get rid of the muddiness of the game. But I don't 100% know when that's coming out or if it's already came out. But I mean, I played Pathfinder. Wait, we played Pathfinder, didn't we?
No, you did. You and Pat.
Oh, so yeah, Pat and I played it. I would say that it is very similar to D&D. But like you're saying, I also don't know why you would play Pathfinder over it. I'd have to play it more to know. I didn't hate it.
No, I mean, and that's like
felt like generic D&D, if that's the best way.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. I think that was sort of what they were going for, is sort of a lower barrier of entry for newer people. And I think that they need to have a complex D&D system for experienced players like you, and then they need to have a starter kit, a starter set of D&D for new people here. These rules are much trimmed down from the excess bloat of the 85 different characters with multi classes and all that kind of stuff, that I think just make it a little bit much for the overhead. Like just straight classes, make it straight 4 classes or 5 classes, maybe even 3 classes, a fighter, a ranged, and a healer. It's basically the triad that you need, and you pick, one of those classes to play. You trim down the spells to not be like this deity, this, that, and the other stupid, special racial. It slim it down, make it very consumable, like a book that's 10 pages thick. Then you can sit down and play D&D starter, right? And then grow on it from there. If you like the game, then move into the 5th edition. I think that they would benefit from something like that.
They do have a starter kit.
They have a starter kit, but it's still the same rules, right?
Yeah, but it has starter characters that are designed to be
Sure.
they're already pre-generated, so like they're designed to be fairly quick and easy to learn and play. They picked like the simple classes like fighter and whatnot.
Right, but you have the option, right? Well,
sure,
I have this player's handbook, and oh shit, now the DM has to learn all.
Dude, the Dungeon
like,
Master's Guide in D&D 1 is over 500 pages long.
This is what I'm saying. Like it feels,
it's pretty wild.
like it's getting into D&D bloat.
Well,
just, like many games.
To be fair, it's long because it has 5 sample adventures, and it has a chapter on how to create a world, how to create your own world. So for like a dungeon master, I think it's very good. I'm very excited. There's something called Bastions. I don't know if you how much you've played D&D over the past years of whatever edition, but like back in the day, you used to be able to like make your own stronghold, and you'd have your own like you're basically like your bastion. They're making a new chapter on bastions where you can actually at level 5, any player can create their own bastion as like a side thing. You don't even have to be there. You probably have to be there to start it, but like you don't have to constantly be at your bastion. Like there's like bastion events that happen. You can level up your bastion.
Sounds a lot like Path of Exile.
What you mean with your hideout or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's a very customizable thing, and what's really cool, I think, is that like say there's like a session where like not many people can come that day, but you still want to do something. You could be like everybody take a bastion turn, and then there's going to be like things that happen at your bastion, whether you're there or not. You could recruit people to your bastion. Very, I don't know. It just seems very cool. I don't know. I like it.
And it is good. Like if you look at any of the mechanics, they're all singularly good. And they add something to the game. The problem, what I'm saying is in aggregate, it starts to get a bit muddy. Like when I first began playing Magic, right? There weren't that many cards in the pool. So it wasn't that hard. There weren't very many mechanics compared to like what there are nowadays. And, as you progress through Magic, you better learn especially if you're going to play Commander, the different mechanics and the different cards that exist, so you would know what to expect to a degree. It's certainly a bit overwhelming, just like Path of Exile, looking at a brand new player coming in and looking at that skill tree like bye. Like it's just too complicated. And I think that it's it's wonderful for the richness for players like you, the more engrossed, the deep divers, the ones that have the attention span to learn all that stuff and the time to learn all that stuff. But you certainly end up cutting out a portion of the audience that look at it and go, nah, that's like when you look at Magic cards. Honestly, some of the Magic cards, when they're just like a wall of text, especially like in draft, and it's the first one, and I'm like, goodbye. I'm not even gonna like. Not
it takes
even
too long to read every card and try to understand every. I get
it's like no. So, and many people are like that. Just not in a version of looking at a card that they have to draft, but in aggregate for the game. Like, oh, that's just too many rules. I'm not going to bother with that. Even board games that I've come across, I'm like, meh. That's too fussy. I don't like games that are too fussy for no good reason. Even if it adds something to a specific player or a specific group of players. I think that a lot of games, whether they're computer games, board games, card games, that's why I actually kind of like the Foundations idea, but I think that the implementation is bad. I think it should be its own format, and that it lasts for 5 years, and that's sort of just the beginner format, and the starter kits can go in there each year. Anything that's printed in a starter kit can go in there. Maybe the jump starts, who knows, but have a Foundations format. And it's really, because if you think about it, right, Jumpstart is really meant for a newer player, right? It's not really meant for the long-term players that you smash 2 packs together and that's your deck, right? Most people that have been around for a while, like, oh, I like these synergies better with these other cards that I have and know exist. So Jumpstart really is a fantastic product aimed at bring back Portal. Man, I like that for so many reasons, but what they would do is just reprint the shit out of it, and that kind of ruins it. But
You're
Portal,
talking about
yes,
Portal
Portal
Free
was
Kingdoms?
no Portal originally, and that's why they even have different symbols on them, like, oh, here's a sword for your attack, and here's a shield for your defense, rather than just 2 numbers. So they did things that had help text on them on Portal, and in case you're not aware of what that concept was.
Yeah, I don't
and
know
that's what Portal was. It was supposed to be the portal into Magic back in the day. But it's still the idea, and they understand it, and I feel like they're nibbling at the edges. WotC always is, with not quite nailing it for the beginner experience. So I think that this also, went wide of the mark of where it should be for addressing concerns of the newer Magic players coming into the community. I think it's an area where they need to address it and really do well with incorporating them. Man, that's driving me nuts with the echo. Maybe it's me coming through your speaker. I don't understand.
I only hear an echo sometimes.
Oh, you know what? Maybe. What if I mute myself on one of these? Hold on a second.
Well, but if you mute yourself on one of them, then they wouldn't hear you.
Can you hear me? Oh,
I can hear you, but the people
they wouldn't
on
hear
the
me on
side,
that stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I use it like there's like it shouldn't be through me because I use 2 forms of echo cancellation. I have NVIDIA Broadcast and I have the browser.
Pat even said he heard me echoing. So
yeah.
At any rate,
are you guys hearing
my Magic 31 stuff? Yeah. I was good. Like, I'll be honest with you, the way I feel about it, and I looked at the other Magic cons and I said, when you've been to the best, why go to the rest? And it feels like we went to the if I could have only picked one Magic Con to go to, it would have been the original OG with the VIP. I'm so glad I made that decision.
I was not, but now.
I don't know what that's in reference to, Solar God. And Solar God, I think it was you that I commented on when
if he was hearing echoing. I'll turn down my speakers a little bit more, see if that's maybe it.
Okay. But at any rate, it feels like they just missed the mark, and it feels like it needs to be its own separate format for beginners that has a certain number of products in it. The starter kits, they're aimed at newbies. The Jumpstart is aimed at newbies. Foundations, they say, is aimed at newer and experienced players, but it feels like it really is meant more for, as a set, meant more for newer players to Magic. And it feels like it should be its own segue into standard, like it should lead into standard, but it should be its own format.
I want to shout out Solar God. He upgraded to an uncommon tier on our channel.
So look at you go. So Solar God, was that you in Dual Brains chat? I responded, I don't know if you've checked yet. You were talking about reprinting of Calling the Week, I think it was. And that kind of, goes along with my I even posted an example. I'm not sure if I posted that in our chat, Matt, about AC, the the Tyrant of Gyre Straits, or whatever it is.
It does not sound very familiar.
Take a look at that Joker. It's so, if you remember the Commander Legends, Commander Precon.
Oh, the Precon.
When I first bought them, I bought them for like $15 a piece, right? And then I looked at the Precon decks for Commander Legends, and the one with AC is now over $100. Right
Pretty good.
now, I still have one sealed. I opened one because I use AC in my hug deck, but AC
Is that true?
himself
Is that true? Do you really have 90 copies, Solar God? That's wild. If you do,
90 copies of what? Culling the Week
or the
Yo,
precon.
TCG dude. If you have either one of those 90 copies, not financial advice, sell soon. Because as soon as they announce a reprint, or even the whispers that come out pre-announcement of a reprint, oh man, yeah, no, I would definitely be offloading those.
What's Calling the Week
soon.
up to? $15,
like $10 maybe, 15. What
lightly,
is it? I have
played is 15, but that's the market price. Heavily, let's say, we'll say
I have
lightly played. It's an older card, $10.
I don't know. I think I have a 4 set of them. Just because I got them back in the day.
I definitely have one copy, but I might have sold it recently. I don't know.
I would just get down to a play set, honestly. So you have your play set, so you have them, and you have the OGs, and I like OGs. But I would seriously be looking to offload those things, because as soon as you even try selling them, yeah, I mean, TCG, dude, honestly, I don't know if you've seen the reason that deck is even worth $100. It's not. The only reason that's even that high is because of the single printing of AC, right? If that's how you even pronounce the damn card.
That's how we've always pronounced it. AC, Tyrant of Dire Straits.
But at any rate, it's only expensive because it's had one printing in a Commander precon set, and it's not super powerful. I mean, it's strong.
It is. It can be. I have a buddy that plays a very high level power version of it, and it can be very powerful.
Sure, I get it, but at any rate, there's a reason that it didn't take off like a rocket when it was first dropped, right? And now it's a $40-something card because they haven't reprinted it.
Yeah, and I would definitely sell.
You're not going to tell me, you're not going to convince me, nobody will, that Magic's not hyper aware of the value on the second market. Cosmic Seas of all of the cards in their library. I'll guarantee you they have probably some sort of graph that's looking at spikes and sell-through rates and what's hot, what's not, and
there's a couple precons that are really good.
I played it. I didn't think so.
I would say the Prosper Tomebond is very strong right out of the box.
Yeah, I like it. And I'll be honest with you, so is the Quandrix one, but the problem with that is as soon as everybody sees it, man, they poke your belly button inside out as soon as they see Adrix and Nev up there.
Obviously, the Warhammer ones, those kind of have a little bit of a Warhammer and
Phyrexian Tower. Phyrexian Tower's already taking it up the pooper. Like, that thing is, yuck. Not like, I have OG. I think I have like 4. I don't know if I have a 4. I don't know if I have a full playset. I think I do, Phyrexian Tower from Saga, but I am not going to
recently,
Vegas this time. I think it's been reprinted recently, like twice or 3 times in the last 3 years.
No. It's been reprinted in Modern Horizons 3, Ultimate Masters, and Jumpstart. Oh, but it's been in the list, so I don't know how long that's been out there.
I was about to say, I know it was on the list. So that's literally in the last 4 years, 3 times at least.
I think once a year isn't bad. I think that's about the highest it should be. If they were ever going to take a card and reprint it, if it's a staple card that a lot of people need copies of, like for instance, the One Ring, that card definitely needs a reprint.
We were lucky to meet you too, Cosmic. That's not a one-way street, buddy.
Yeah, that was great.
You missed the earlier part, and I'm so glad that you were there. With us on the putt. That was epic. That was
as hot as it was and as sweaty as it was. It was still a great time. It was a really good time.
That room was so hot,
especially inside.
Oh my god, I'm a fat man, and I was sweating like crazy in there.
Yeah, the fans were my savior. They had like little fans in certain areas.
I'll be honest with you. As much as I loved it, I just wanted to get back on the casino floor where the air conditioner was.
But I was also
hot as
sick at
shit.
the time. Like I said, that was when I was starting to feel like I had some kind of illness of some sort. But I was trying to just play it off and just go. But I had started to feel sick right around that time, and plus I didn't really get a ton of sleep. I had flip flopping my schedule around, being away from home. I don't really sleep really well, and then Bob snores real loud. It is what it is.
I sleep
But it was
good.
still a great time no matter. Oh, and then the walking. Oh my god,
I was about
so
to
much
say I was
walking.
sick too. Sick of
Yeah.
walking everywhere. Oh my god, that was awful.
Oh, so much walking.
Oh,
It was
dude, you did
crazy.
twice the walking I did with your marathon thing for the COVID shots.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But I mean, the point wasn't so much, just to reminisce here on stream about it, but careful about what you place a financial value on things that down the road you may truly regret getting rid of.
Yeah, we're trying something out, Solar God. We're streaming in both vertical and horizontal, so we should be showing up in the shorts feeds as well as the standard feeds. I mean, considering that I do 2 shorts a day minimum, and a video at the moment once every day for a little while. I've got a bunch of AFK Journey videos. Not many people are showing much interest in it, so I might not continue on with it. But the game's still pretty fun for me. But yeah, we're trying out. I got a message from Michael Superbacker, or was it from Benson? It was from Benson. Last week he was telling me that he asked us if we could try out vertical streaming and said that it was working well for his channel, so we should try it out. So we're giving it a shot.
We have far more people on the vertical stream than we do. We have Solar God holding it down in the regular stream, but we're on YouTube twice actually. Solar God.
It's
all
just
on
both
YouTube.
on YouTube.
But and I wish you could combine the chat right between the two.
There's programs that do it. We'd have to like open up a.
So this is teetering steps into new tech for us. So forgive us that we're not fully fledged yet, but I would like to see the chat all in one. So that way chat gets to. There's certainly a life of its own in our chat with people chatting back and forth. If I could say chat one more time, I'm going to choke myself.
Chat.
But I would like to see that so that the audience could be more engaged with each other as well as this is not really a super. Yeah, it is awkward, TCG dude, having the chat split between two sources, even for me. That's why I keep looking back and forth.
There's one thing I can do if I were to stream. So like so here's the thing. Right now we use a program called a website called StreamYard. And StreamYard is very good in what it does as far as like very quick and easy to use without having to fuss with much of anything. But if we were to like take this further, we would probably want to get off of StreamYard and go with like OBS, because OBS just has so much more customizability. The problem is that we'd have to use some other program like Discord to capture our voices and videos. And then I'd have to make my own layouts. Like, like being able to just do this right now, I can just click a button, zooms in on our faces. I can like go from like person to person and then highlight each person as they're talking. Being able to do all of that in OBS it's doable, but it would take so much more work, and you'd have to take a browser.
And we're lazy.
Well, it's not even just that. You'd have to take a browser capture of everybody inside Discord. And then if that ever changes the position, it'll like mess up the layout that you make. So like, I don't know how you replace StreamYard in that way for another program that allows you to do more. Because right now, StreamYard gives you the ability to stream vertically and horizontally, but I don't know of a way to join the chats. But if I was in OBS, I can make it so that I could take a browser capture of both chats, and they could be on the screen, so you guys can at least see what's happening. I don't know of a way to I can highlight comments. Like if I were to do this, so I can show. Oh, see, it's still only showing on the vertical stream if I highlight a comment on the vertical stream. So yeah, I have no idea how to do it on StreamYard, but it might just be the way that it is. But I'll look more into it.
So again, I feel like we kind of drifted a bit talking about tech here. Getting back to any card that can be reprinted. I am.
There's Benson.
We're
Benson.
doing it. But It is your
don't worry.
idea.
I give you credit.
He gave
I
you
just
props
got
and
done
credit.
giving you credit. Literally like 2 minutes ago, we were talking about it. But
It
yeah,
felt
the
more
echo
like he
thing,
was
I don't know where
blaming
the echo
you,
thing's
but
coming from.
yeah, he gave you credit.
There people are saying that there's sometimes an echo. I don't know how or why.
Neither do I. If I could push a button to get rid of the echo, I would. But the only way I would know how to do that is to mute myself, and then you wouldn't hear me on one or the other streams. So we'll figure
I
it out. We'll
think
get there. Please bear with us. Hopefully, it's not
test it.
Unreasonable to watch.
Yeah, so I'm testing something else. So I'm using a different microphone. So let me know if the echoing has gone away. And let me know if you can still hear me. It says it's still registering my voice. It was using my Samsung Meteor microphone, which is what it's supposed to use, but NVIDIA Broadcast takes out the cancellation, or that has the technology that like, removes other people talking. So I don't know. We'll see if that changes anything. If worse comes to worse, I can put on headphones. I have them, and I'll just see if that changes anything. But anyway,
So let's since we're dual streaming and we don't have the ability to show chat yet for both. For those in the non-vertical stream, TCG dude asked an interesting question, to which I have an answer I don't think he's going to like. The collector box of Assassin's Creed for $258 no tax, was that a stupid idea? I know that it's well below the going price, and Rudy was talking about this, saying the market's flat rejecting it. And I'm going to go back to what I always say about buying product in the first place, and that is that buy product only that you don't mind being stuck with. If it happens to take off, then that's a bonus, because the feel bad from getting stuck with a bad product, I can tell you, that outweighs the feel good from any gains you're going to get. And I would say that if you wanted to have it, even as a sealed item, I have many sealed items, some actually just sitting within arm's reach, that I didn't buy these were given to me, but I kept them sealed because they mean more to me sealed than the cards that would be in them. So Rudy was way off, saying buy every one of them below $300 that you can get your hands on. Well, you could buy a whole lot of them below $300.
yeah, so this was what they were at prior to, and then there was the big scare of, oh my God, they're so short printed. Buy.
But who created that? Who created that scare?
Well, the majority
Rudy.
of it was well, I mean, anybody that had the information. I mean, realistically, if this wasn't, if in my opinion, Universes Beyond's Beyond Boost, the Beyond Boosters is a failure. They need to stop. They keep trying it. This is the second time they've tried it. It has flopped on both occasions.
No, they said he was saying that the play boosters are actually doing well.
I don't think they are. In my opinion, that they're at 101, almost $97. They're also plummeting.
That's not doing well.
It went from 160 to $107, and you can buy them right now for
and
101.
dropping like a rock.
Yeah, they're not. I don't know what he was talking about. I was thinking the same thing, and I'm like, dude, even in the last month, they went from 130 to $97. Like they're not doing well.
Okay. Yeah.
I could see. Here's the thing. I knew for sure they weren't going to hold this 130 was what they were, because I could buy them for 92. If I could buy them for 92 from like some random seller, then they're getting them for less than 90 because they got to make money. That's how businesses work. So the fact that they're at 130, I'm like, there's no way they're making $50 profit per box plus more than that, you know. But yeah, I think that I'm staying away from everything beyond anything. If it's beyond boosters, unless it's Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy, if this is a beyond product, which I hope it's not, because that would suck. But if it's a beyond product, I actually think that it's going to do well because Final Fantasy is just good. You know, like
if it's something that you want, like everybody, so many people, especially on our channel, look at things just purely from a speculative investor flipping standpoint. And I'll be quite frank with you, none of us on this channel are a really great resource for that specific information. There are other people that track that data much more closely, and some that I could recommend would be Hometown TCG. He tracks a shitload of numbers and the pulse of that going all the time. You have other people. I love Moxman, but I don't really recommend it. I think he kind of just plays to whatever gives him the most clicks and likes. Rudy has a vested interest, so I think he's a terrible person to get information from. But by proxy, you could look at what Anger Collections does, because he is kind of like a real-time ticker about selling shit on TCG Player, right? But I think he doesn't incorporate all of his expenditures, right? Including taxes, shipping, all of that stuff. He doesn't really talk about that much. I called him out once and he really didn't talk about it. But at least he'll give you a little better idea of value for sets. And he really deals mainly with the newer, hotter sets, is what he makes a lot of videos on. But I would caution anybody getting into Magic at this point. It's so hit and miss with what's going to take off like a rocket and what's going to hold value and what's going to go up, what's going to go down. I can say there's not much meat on the bone for. I have not TCG, dude, but there's not much meat on the bone for any Magic product. I mean, I think even Matt has come to the sad conclusion that by and large, most of the stuff he's going to open, he hopes to at least get 80% of what he spent on it back. That would be a win, right? On opening any box. And I bet you if you average all of his boxes that are above purchase price, including all of the taxes and selling fees and everything else incorporated with it, along with his duds, at best, I'll bet you, Matt, you're hope to have broke even.
Yeah. I mean, there are some things that I've definitely gained, like, a card goes from $1 to $10. Like, you'll definitely make money from that. And that isn't like too often, but it happens.
Yeah, but compare it to the boxes you open where it's a $200 box and you get $100 worth of cards out of it.
But yeah, I would say so. Just to circle back, I had a statement about Assassin's Creed collectors. There's a good chance, like every sealed product, that 6 months to a year from now, they go back up above the maybe $300 marker, $400 marker, because they are, from what I understand. I mean, if we can believe Rudy at all, about the scarcity of the product, I can tell you that I know for sure that I have at least a little bit of confirmation on that nobody was pre-ordering the product, because I talked to my LGS and he also said the same thing, that he said he had almost nobody pre-order any of the products that he had for Assassin's Creed. So the idea that the majority of them are not pre-ordering makes it kind of tracks. I could see Watsy going, well, if nobody's going to pre-order it, we'll make it more scarcer product because not many people want it. So if we flood it, if they gave everything, they probably have a bunch more printed. I for at least beyond boosters, I feel like they'd have to do the collector boxes because they're serialized cards. I feel like they have to release all of them, but I could be wrong. But either way, like I'm saying, I think sealed product will always, opening it is a horrible idea. Looking at the cards, like the majority of the cards, unless you hit a serialized card for the collectors, you're just gonna take it. Yeah,
But at that point, you're gambling, right? You're no longer playing this as a TCG. You're buying a very expensive scratch off ticket, and in all likelihood, it's gonna bust. And that's with most opening Magic product. But that's when it goes back to what I was talking about before. Buy product very specifically that you want. Right? If you want gains, yeah. How many of you have a fully funded retirement fund right now? And that means at least 15 to 20% of your salary. Do you have a fully funded emergency fund? That means at least 3 to 6 months of your living expenses sitting in a bank account. If you don't have those things, then gambling on an Assassin's Creed collector box is a terrible idea just as an adult.
Oh yeah.
So, then you won't care. Once you get to a financial position, like I know Matt's doing okay. I'm not going to spoil his financial situation, but he's doing okay to where I don't bash him about buying product because I know it doesn't make any difference to his bottom line. It's not going to affect his financial well-being. But so many people, especially many of the folks that are in this chat, seem to want to have it as a revenue stream. And let me just make absolutely clear. At no point do I ever think that Magic should be a revenue stream for anybody reselling on the secondary market. If you happen to be collecting because it's part of your hobby, you like seeing the box on your shelf, and I do. I actually come down quite often in the basement and look at my stacks of sealed, and I enjoy seeing them. I realize they have some value, but I have no idea what I would do to sell all of my stuff. Open, sealed, doesn't matter. That's not what they're there for. And it's not bragging, it's not flexing. It's saying that this is purely a responsible and healthy way to interact with a hobby. And I think that they prey on people, and I think that's exactly what the serialized does. Is it's preying on people. The gambling addiction that they, wow, I said that really weird, addiction, that they're building into the product more and more. I see it more clearly all the time, that they're feeding into this gambler's addiction rather than it used to be a TCG. It used to be something you were happy you got a card because, like, oh shit, I need that card. I need that Nadu, right? I need that, Soul Ring. And it's changed very much to this conversation over the past 5 years just about financial value. And I think a lot
I
of
don't
people are
think
going to
it's
end up cutting it
necessarily.
short.
I wouldn't call it I don't think it was intentionally predatory. I think that people asked for chase cards, and this is what they're doing. This is the response to feedback from people. That's how I feel. Now I can see that their initial trial of that was like, oh, it worked really, really well. That's good. But now they're doing it in every single set, and I don't necessarily think that that's a good thing. Having a
Baseball
serialized card
card,
in every set.
sports cards went through the same thing. That's where you got to the junk wax era, is what they call it. And I honestly see that as a direct parallel to what they're doing in Magic. As far as Duskmorn, yet we covered Duskmorn a little bit last week.
Yeah.
My initial impressions are, ooh, not for me. That's not a Magic that appeals to me. It's not.
The cards are nuts. Some of the cards that they've previewed are
Fine.
very strong, but the visual appeal for me, I don't know, the whole TVs and the
Sneakers and
I don't
just
mind
modern
horror.
day
Yeah,
life
modern
stuff.
is weird in D&D. I don't mind Warhammer 40K because it's kind of grungy.
Well,
It's
but you have Doctor Who
technology.
in there as well, and The Walking Dead,
The
but those
Walking
were
Dead's
in
fine for me.
secret layers, right? Those were not
Yeah.
incursions into
This is like a
standard sets,
full-on standard set.
right? And I don't like that.
Oh, and as far as
It's at least I'll say this: at least it's not a Universes Beyond. It's some weird
I'd rather have
embracing
it
of
as universe.
some
Well,
weird direction of their own.
it's interesting. We'll
Okay,
see. So far, I haven't been super impressed with the art. I don't like the showcase at all. The showcase so far, the ones with like the really like retro like
love you too, Sherry
TV
Vegas.
edged gaming, or not gaming, but the retro edge of like the TV dials and stuff. I do not like that version of the card at all. It's like one of the worst showcase versions I think they've released in a very long time. But you know. Oh, and
You think
TCG
it
dude,
could be a gem?
about TCG bulk kings, I don't agree with bulk selling things. I guess you could go with bulk selling commons and uncommons, maybe, but like the way I see it, bulk selling rares and mythics is a trap for you. It's just a win for them. They're giving you pennies. Is 5 pennies going to change your life? No. Now, what happens if you hold that card and then it skyrockets, like Shuko, for instance? If you bulk sell all your Shukos, now they went from like $1 to like $15 or whatever. You bulk selling
But then
them,
they'll reprint it. So you're just timing the market at that point, and that's why I said keeping a play set at this point. Which, wow, that harkens back to, I don't know if you remember Edwin the Magic Engineer. I tried to get him on our channel.
nope,
He
no
responded to me
idea.
once, but then kind of dipped out. I like Edwin the Magic Engineer. He's in that group with Rudy and what's his name? The guy that opens like beta and alpha packs.
Open boosters.
Open boosters, I think is the guy's name. And Edwin the Magic Engineer is the other guy that's in that crowd, not the Asian guy.
Okay.
But he once went through his collection, right? Even amongst ABU, and he was talking about just keeping a playset 4 times every card. That's it. Anything above that, you really shouldn't be holding on to. Now I hold on to everything. If you go back through my but I do it for different reasons, right? Like I have them because I like having the OG stuff. I would like, at some point, like I have 23 OG near mint Lotus pedals, right? Because I was collecting way back in the day, just because I like the Lotus pedal. I have a thing for Beta Twiddle. Okay, all right, that's all I got. Appreciate that.
Good luck.
But by the way, Sherry Vegas, because Sherry Vegas is on the widescreen version, not the vertical. Sherry Vegas, just so you know, the chat right now, if you want to get into the chat and see what other people are doing, the vertical stream on YouTube is where everybody seemed to want to go tonight. So I guess
it's the new thing. People like to see just smaller
it's
versions.
tumbleweeds where you are, Sherry Vegas.
It's fine.
At any rate, I like having older cards, even bulk. Like I have 20 of. I think at some point I clipped everything above 20 copies or 24 copies of every common in Urza's Legacy, Saga, Tempest, just because it was just too much bulk. I don't even remember what I did with them. I have exactly 20 copies, and I did that with a lot of different sets. And I can't imagine where I'll ever need that many, and I really need to go through and just get down to 4 copies of each. But it's not for financial reasons, right? It's just I like having them, right? The money's not worth it to me. The $100 I would get from selling all those off after taxes and fees and everything else just isn't worth trimming down my Lotus pedals. I'd much rather have them for maybe, I don't know, as a birthday present to Matt, give him an OG Lotus pedal. That's more meaningful to me than, at net after the 15% loss of the selling fee and tax and then shipping and all that shit. I walk away with $10 from it. Nah, it's worth more to me just to give to Matt. So at any rate, and that's kind of in theme with like, hold on to your stuff, especially like if you just get fed up with Magic and you really hate it, take it from a guy who's revolving doored in and out of Magic many times. I would hold on to him unless you're in a financial pinch. That's the last time I had a sell-off was to take my daughter to Disney, and I was broke as a joke right after a divorce. So, I had it at the time, got absolutely raped, compared to like what the values are today. But it enabled me to go to Disney World with my daughter when she was 6. So,
Worth.
Huh?
I said worth. As long as the experience was good, of course.
Value, right? And those are cards that I'd held on to for 10, 15 years by that point. So at any rate, I highly recommend anybody that just gets fed up. As you all know, Matt's in a much happier place with Magic, and so is Pat, than I am at the moment. I'm trying to find a groove that strikes a chord with me, that I can, get into with Magic, but it just feels so predatory at the moment, especially with the sky high prices of things. And I just don't want to open boxes that even in Lorcana, we'll take that too, right? Rudy had his mass sell. What was it? The Amazon
Amazon
what
dump.
Did he say? Amazon dump of Lorcana. And
it kind of was
to a degree, but I don't think it's the same thing. I don't know that they necessarily sell directly to them. Like WotC does it in a little more scumbag fashion. So I think it's just a natural. We really need to do more. We haven't done anything recently. At least I haven't, TCG dude, with the Commander Raids. I did try to go over to Matt's house and play Commander Raids draft, but that went over like a fart.
Well, like I said, I had a deck I already built for that day specifically. I literally just built it that morning, so I didn't want to we did play until like almost 1 a.m. I think.
I had to work Friday. I had to work Friday morning, so I couldn't stay late in any case.
Yeah, we didn't get done grilling until about 8:30 or 9.
So I still, if I'm playing Magic, I can promise you, TCG dude, it'll be playing Commander Raids. Even personally, like in person, I was going to go over to Matt's house for the 4th, and I wanted to play Commander Raids. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, but we haven't had any new developments. I know that Pat was working on a new boss. I don't know that he ever got it put in. I'd have to look. He's not here tonight, unfortunately. We can ask him next week. But we're not walking away from it. As a matter of fact, I'm playing more with the Lorcana, what would be their version of Commander Raids. And I'm trying to get some ideas, just let it mungle around inside my head here for a bit and see if I can't incorporate some of the good parts. I believe very much in that BASF. We don't make things, we just make them better. Kind of idea. And I actually like the fact, and it's gone kind of under the radar. I've seen a couple of videos about the arch enemy for Commander. That what is that coming out in? I can't remember. They announced it for what?
It's in
You brought that up.
Duskmourn.
So that would be a plus on my side for Duskmourn if they're really going to bring that in, because it's the closest thing to Commander raids, right? They haven't fully embraced the autonomous enemy to play against yet, but because I think it really does trivialize too many cards to do it autonomous. But it's never going to be a dead format.
Nah, so Commander Raids, I kind of treated it as like once we were like pretty happy with the 1.0 version, and for some reason in my brain I kind of just was like, all right, well, it's done. Like, not done as in like it's done as in complete, but it's not done as in we should not stop doing things for it. So like I don't know, I probably need to take a look at the application and make sure that it's like right now it's on the Google Play Store and it can be used, but it's updated, but I don't know that it's on the Google Play Store as like it must still be tagged as alpha. I don't know how to like push it to normal. It's not very easy to go through their developmental process. I gotta tell you, it's not like I just want to push it out. I don't care about testing. Just go live. We test live here. All right.
I don't often test, but when I do, it's live.
We do it live. But as far as I've had some ideas for another raid boss and another mode as well. I like the command tower mode. I think that it needs more adjusting. One of the biggest problems that I have is like play testing. I need to be the ability to play test, and I don't.
Yes,
really
it is TCG, dude.
Yeah, you should be able to type in Commander Raids on the Google Play Store, and you should be able to see it.
Now, understand what's in the Play Store is just, it's automated and it has rules and it's convenient. It's a companion app. It's not like a self-contained game, if that's what you're thinking. It's a companion app
I see it.
To
assist.
It's
early access still,
but it
let me know
takes care of the roles, and you
don't
have to look at the sheet and all that stuff, and it just it does good things. Matt did a great job with it. But
yeah, it replaces the need for
D20 cards.
It replaces a need for the D20. It keeps track of the health of the monster. It keeps track of the round. Not necessarily automatically. You still have to like tick like +1 round, and you have to tick like the health. But it rolls through the table automatically. Just you have to tap the screen and it'll roll. Or I mean, I think you have to tap the button that says roll for the raid monster or something like that.
Well, and you still need the misspelled versions of these things. You don't really need to have them, but they're a great little reminder of having different, because he can generate actually multiples, so you can generate them each turn, and they would all have different values. So it helps you track how many of each of them that you would have at the different values of those are the minions that are generated by the boss monster.
Yeah.
And it's good to have something like that. So still good to have those. I still have hundreds of them I could give out. I haven't really figured out a great way to do it. I think what I want to do is just anybody who plays it with me, and you want me to send them to you, just give me an address to send. I'll send you at least 2 copies, one of each, of the Commander Raid Little Minions, just as a thank you for playing, and we can do it that way. I'm certainly still available to play, maybe not like on demand, but in the Discord. Are you on our Discord, TCG dude? If not, check out our Discord, Matt, if you have the link.
Yeah, I can link it in the chats.
That I can't join the chat on. I haven't logged into YouTube on Firefox, so I had to switch browsers. Sorry, that's why I'm kind of discombobulated here. But in that chat, I check it every so often to see, if somebody wants to try to set up a game and play, and I'll certainly do that. I even thought about offering the Lorcana game, though it's a little bit more difficult, I think, to run on Spell Table. It would probably have to be more of a Discord thing for me to run the Ursula's Return, which is very much like a Commander Raids PvE. So thanks for the question. It was a great question. Great questions. But yeah, it's certainly not dead. We just kind of don't have a lot of development at the moment that we need to do with it.
Yeah, let me know how it works for you. It's still, like I said, it's still in early access. They want people to test the application to make sure that it works. In theory, it should work across any device, but I've had some people say that it's like the formatting gets a little wonky on certain devices. I'm not a programmer. I've built it. I guess I'm a entry level programmer for Android. So I know enough to make the application, I guess, but a lot of it's been Googling and Googling or YouTubing and watching stuff and how to do different things. I think the way I have it now, it should just auto shape to whatever device it's on, but well, I'll have to just get feedback. Other than that, there's been a couple things that have been on my list of things to do in order to have a better look at commander raids. There's the WoW TCG that has a raid mode, like a World of Warcraft raid, and apparently there's a TCG version of that. There's cards that I'm supposed to look at that. It's just on the list of things that I haven't done.
I have it, and I have the Onyxia raid on it.
There should be ways to give us more ideas based on just looking at those cards. That was one of the feedbacks that I got. There's the Ursula's Return, I think, like Bob was saying, has like some effects that seem like they would translate well over to the Commander Raid. Arch Enemy's another one that has effects that probably can be incorporated, as well as what's the game called? It's a card game that I really like that I haven't had a chance to play. It just came out.
Talking about the Lord of the Rings?
No, it's the Red Blood. It's a game you've never played. It's got dice you roll in. It's kind of like
Ashes or something or other.
Ashes, Phoenix Reborn. Yeah, Ashes, Phoenix Reborn, PVE. They brought out a PVE mode called Red Rains, and I have it, and I just haven't got a chance to play it yet. But that's another PVE style game where you're versus a large monster, and I think that would give more ideas. So stuff like that, plus of course feedback from players. I think that what I would like to do as well is do some kind of monthly event for Commander Raids. I have to think of like a way to coordinate that with channel members or something like that to kind of get more.
Yeah, give priority to channel members that because Jake and Joel do that for Commander every month, and we really need to be a little more dedicated to that, doing more. But to be fair, it's their full-time job, and they have dedicated patron, and we're doing it just on the goodness of our hearts, really, and to establish more community with you folks. There's one you forgot to mention, and we didn't play it at Gen Con, even though I bought it and I wanted to play it. Just ran out of time, and I was just not up to staying there. And that's the Hero Realms. Remember, I bought the
Hero Realms
PVE version. I still haven't even cracked it myself, so I'm waiting to do that at some point. Hero Realms, for those of you that aren't aware, is not a TCG. It is just a card game. I don't know how you would describe it. It's kind of like a draft style. It's a deck builder, so you're constantly building your deck throughout the game. You start with just a few kind of generic cards, and as the game progresses, you're purchasing new cards to establish a deck, and everybody can see them, so you get to see what other people are drafting as well. And then you just keep shuffling your deck and rotating them through to get to your newer cards that you purchase, et cetera, et cetera. It's a really good. I think it's a really solid game. I think it's not overly complicated. Would you agree with that? I think it's a very
it was pretty
streamlined, easy to pick up, easy to digest kind of game. But I have not yet tried their. I've only gone. Honestly, I thought it was really good for 4-player. It's kind of like Commander. It was really solid. Other games
Yeah.
seem clunky. That way, like Flesh and Blood seems very clunky for multiplayer to me. From what I've watched, is like, it wasn't.
Yeah, I
It
don't
was
know about the
not really
whole, like,
built for
you can
4-player.
only attack a person to your immediate left or right. You can't attack somebody directly across, if I remember correctly. Something weird like that. They really need to bring out their dungeon mode. I just don't
Even
understand.
you can just tell it's kind of like shields down. You know what I mean? Like when you play, you're pretty much head to head. So if you attack one person and then you defend against another person, and you got to wait 2 more people before
Oh
you're
yeah, if
not
everybody
shields
gangs
down
up on
again.
you, they'll just crush you because you'll have
It
no
it just
cards in
it
your hand to
feels
defend.
very imbalanced that way. That it's like, I mean, all games are to an extent that way, but Flesh and Blood felt
Yeah.
way more like you're expending all of your resources on your turn, right? Very few like defensive things that you can do, and you're kind of shields down until it's your next turn again.
Yeah.
So it was, from what I've seen, and I don't understand Flesh and Blood all that well, but I would definitely say that Hero Realms felt much more. You only did so much to one player so that people wouldn't gang up on you, right? You did because you like got so far ahead of everybody that you were clearly the threat at the table. But it's a good game. It's a very good game, and we could probably learn from their PvE format to add some more to Commander Raids as well.
Yeah. So there's a spoiled card that made me smile.
Ooh, what's that?
It's called Parting Fish, or I'm sorry, Parting Gust. It should just be called Parting Fish. So it's gonna be hard to read because it's like really crappy, and then it's also gonna be. It won't let me zoom in because it's. Oh, can I just?
Is
Click
that
the plus?
Duskmourn?
Yeah, this is for Duskmourn. So Parting Gust is 2 white mana at instant speed, and you gift.
Is that a Maple Leaf?
Yeah, I'm sorry, that's Bloomburrow, not Duskmourn. So it's instant, and part of it is gift a tapped fish. You may promise an opponent a gift as you cast the spell. If you do, they create a tapped 1/1 blue fish creature token before its other effects. And then you exile target non-token creature. If the gift wasn't promised, return that creature to the battlefield under its owner control at the beginning of its next end step with a 1/1 counter on it. I don't know why you would never not give them a 1/1 token, but like, I guess could be some certain situations where you just got to get rid of it for one turn. What's gonna happen if I share my screen on the?
I don't know. Let's test it and find out. Oh wow, we get really tiny, and that's hard to see, anyways.
That didn't work. What about this? That? Yeah. So sharing your screen on vertical is not ideal. I'm sure on a cellular device, I'm looking at it on a 4K monitor or 2K monitor. On a cellular device, it's probably there. It is. It's hard to read anyways, but and I read the card, so there you go. But yeah, I thought it was another interesting card. There's another one called.
I don't understand it yet. Hold on, go back. So basically, it's ephemerate.
Song. You just give them. It's ephemerate if you don't give them a fish. Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
But what does the fish do?
It's just a 1/1. I don't know why you would never give them a 1/1. I don't know. Just give them the 1/1. Exile the creature forever. Why would you flicker their creature and give them a 1/1 counter? I don't know. Unless it's like, so okay, here's the thing. In Commander Raids, it's a pretty good card because you can flicker their creature until end step, and you can like save their creature from getting board wiped, and it comes back stronger. So in Commander Raids, it's pretty good.
There we go. 4 set incoming for Commander Raids. Well, actually, you only need 1, but yeah,
this one
totally
here,
down.
Ral cackling.
Crackling. Not cackling, crackling.
Yeah, Ral crackling.
Can you full screen it?
This is full screen. Or do you mean like without us? It doesn't really get much better.
Yeah, without us. No, that was only on the widescreen. You didn't do that on the vertical.
It doesn't change anything. That's the problem. It literally doesn't change anything. Removing us.
It's because of that window. What if you don't make the window full screen? Your browser. Change the browser from full screen. Minimize it. Now stretch it. Oh, wow. It does it for based on your aspect ratio of your
Well, I'm
monitor?
sharing my screen and not the tab. I'm sure if I maybe if I present, instead of sharing screen, if I present a specific window. Because right now, let me see here. I need to share Reddit. Where's the Reddit tab?
Sorry, we're struggle busting through this, folks. And thank you for sticking with us. And thank everybody for showing up tonight. Again, I like saying that every week because I mean it every week. You guys keep showing up, I'll keep showing up. That's the deal. And, I try to dig into a lot of things around the community the best that I can. I'm trying to hang in there with Magic, even though that's not my favorite child at the moment. Lorcana is getting more affordable, is what I would say. Still not seeing it in the LGS. So that's a little confusing that they've got it cheap on Amazon, but LGSs can't keep it in stock. Something feels off. That feels like there's some shenanigans going on, and I said it last week, at the distributor level. And if that's truly a thing, I think that they really need to nip that in the bud if they want the game to grow. And again, I think like the speculators really kind of did a very big disservice to Lorcana right from the rip. This overhyped didn't even give it room to breathe before they were hoarding up all the product, and it's still not really something you could find very often at your LGS. Mine's out.
I don't know how
You
to do it.
shared the screen again. You didn't share the tab.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it. Anyways,
well, there's an
I'll
easy.
read
Hold on.
card.
You want me to do it? Hold on. What's it called? Raoul
I think
Crackling
it's
Wit.
because I have Raoul Crackling Wit. I think it's because I have multiple tabs open. It doesn't know about my right side, my tabs on another monitor. It keeps wanting to share only the StreamYard tabs of Firefox for some reason. It doesn't know that these other ones exist. So if I wanted to do it, I'd have to drag this over, switch over here. I'd have to change. How do I change?
Here, let me try this.
I'd have to do this and then switch over to here, and then maybe that works. But then I can't see the StreamYards.
Oh wow, that's really weird because on Chrome you can share specific tabs.
Yeah, you can do that. Well, you can share browsers, and then I don't know about tabs though. But anyways, I'll
No,
just read the card.
on Chrome you can share tabs, specific tabs. When in StreamYard on
Yeah, I stopped using Chrome because of the whole YouTube thing.
Well, hold on. I'm going to try to do something else. See how this is supposed to work because it says you can add slides.
Yeah, I could download the. I could download the image. I guess I could do that. Save image as.
Sorry, we're still working through issues here, folks. Still working. Still doing the thing with the stuff. Upload a file from downloads.
Why is it opening as a browser? Because it's the stupid web. I hate. Why is that a thing?
What, WebP?
Yes, I hate so bad.
Save it as whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Save it as PNG.
With a
I know, it's
JPG.
so annoying.
As in all files. Okay, and then we do a thing with the stuff. We present.
Still opening as a. Why is it still opening as a web engine? What is it doing? I see. What?
Oh wow. No, you would have to save it in a PowerPoint to do it as a slide. So weird. Yeah, well, that's something we'll work on some other time. Here, what if I
did it. I figured it out.
Yeah, you did.
I've done it. It's massive.
And you can't read shit on that card.
Well, like I said, the card's like really horribly like it's not really solving the problem of I could just read the card. So I have to fix it over here. Present. Share
We're so good at
screen,
this YouTube stuff, folks.
allow. Boom. It's there you go. All right. So Ral Crackling Wit, 4 mana. So it's the what is it? Is it colors? So blue, red, and 2 colorless. Legendary Planeswalker Ral. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a loyalty counter on Ral, which is already pretty insane. Starts with 4 loyalty. If you +1, you get a blue and red otter creature token with prowess. It's pretty decent.
Dude,
prowess is strong.
This in Storm would be stupid.
Yeah, I know. Hold on. There's more. -3, draw 3 cards, then discard 2 cards. That's kind of whatever. But the -10, draw 3 cards, and you get an emblem with instant and sorcery spells you cast have Storm. So if you ever get his emblem off, which isn't terribly hard to get, just having all of your instant sorceries have Storm is pretty nuts. It isn't cast and copy, which would be even more insane. But casting 6 instants and sorceries in is not hard at all. So,
well,
yeah. It's pretty good.
And there's so many double up. There's so many double up is it cards that double your next spell. And there's an artifact. It's a 1 mana artifact. You attach it for 1. It's a equipment. It's blue, and whenever you attack, I don't know if it's attack or do damage with target creature, you get a spell from some spell book. It's not even in your deck. I was playing with it on Arena. I was like, okay. So you could add spells. You could add it, and it's always instants. It's always like cantrips of cast and draw a card kind of thing. So it's really kind of nutty. I don't remember what set it's from. It's from one of the newer ones. Maybe it was OTJ, maybe. And it's some kind of shit. I don't remember. It's a blue equipment. I'll have to look that shit up.
It sounds like an alchemy card, not a real card.
Might be.
There's a lot of alchemy cards that I would like to have it as a real card. I mean, it's just a very powerful card. Like there's something called Pog.
I bet it couldn't be a real card because you'd have to have all of these cantrips from some spell book from outside the game to play it.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to remember what the hell. It's just a 4-drop that whenever a non-token land enters the battlefield, you just get a duplicate of it. I think it only triggers once each turn, though.
Shit, I'm not logged into Arena down here. Anyway,
it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, so that's the only one that I saw that was as far as like the spoilers go for Dusk. There hasn't really been a lot of Bloomburrow spoilers yet. But that one's more of a leak.
Not yet, but I know you were more enamored with the art than I was.
Some of it was really good, yeah.
I was hoping the art was going to be all like... This is twice now I feel like they've given me the old bait and switch with the artwork. And that's really frustrating to me that the box looks like it's going to be amazing. Kind of like if you look at the box art, and you expect that the cards from double feature would have been more unique to double feature. I don't care if they're the same cards, but they should have had like the movie poster look. That's what the box makes it look like. Bloomburrow makes it look like the art's going to be all this super cutesy stuff. And quite frankly, when we went through them, I was like, there's a couple of really cute cards, but by and large, the set is not.
So far, there's been a couple. Yeah, there's a new one actually. I just found. Now that I have a way to present them,
and don't get me wrong,
This one's in good
I
quality.
100% think that Bloomburrow is going to live and die off the art.
I think this one's. I didn't even read the ability, but I think the art. I like the art of it, and his name is Hugs. It's just like I don't know. It's a good name.
But
I don't even know if the
again,
card's
that
any
art
good.
just not getting
Anyways,
it for
Hug
me.
Grizzly Guardian. So he's 4 mana plus X. It's a 5/5 Trampler, which is interesting that it has X in the name. So when it enters the battlefield, exile the top X cards of your library until the end of turn. You may play next turn. You may play those cards. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. That is a very strong card. I like that. Yeah, I like it a lot. I like the art of it. I like it. I like the hybrid, the left and the right being 2 different colors of the card. I like that. I like the border. It's a good looking card.
You think that's cutesy?
No, not necessarily cute. So far, the only thing that have been cute are the mice cards.
Well, the otter.
Oh yeah, and the otter. Yeah, the bears have been like very ferocious and raw. There's almost like a very I don't know. I want to say yin and yang, but like you know, some of it's ferocious and some of it's cutesy. I mean, I guess Berkey Long Year of the Law, he's kind of cutesy. I'm sure his full art version, if he has one, will be cutesy.
So I don't know. We'll see. But to me, like, and here's what I'm going to say: like the art that they did in Throne of Eldraine, right? The Throne of Eldraine was on point with consistency. The art was thematic, emblematic. It was definitely representational of storybook the whole way through the entire set. The art just really speaks very much to the storybook concept that Throne of Eldraine is. I even think that for the most part, Ikoria did a really good job with staying very true to the art theme of this sort of Land of the Lost art theme. Outlaws of Thunder Junction actually did a really good job, I think, art-wise. I think that's one of the better sets recently that was, to the theme, very good to the Wild West kind of idea. And people were bitching about it before it came out, but I think looking back at it, it's done really well. I think that people are going to look fondly back on OTJ. Some of the ones where they miss, I think, like Kaldheim, there are some Viking themes within there, but there's some you're like, wait, what? That doesn't speak Greek or I'm sorry, Viking anything to me on a lot of it. And it's like, okay, that's really weird. But I think that this is a set that art is going to be hugely important, just like with the IP for Fallout, that it's hugely important, and Warhammer, hugely important that you nail some of these sets. It really is about the art. I honestly, going back to Assassin's Creed, there are some cards that are super dope, and I really like the artwork for the Secret Lair one. Did that even sell out? They were saying, "Oh, this is going to sell out in minutes." I don't think it sold
That's
out.
a good question. I bought 2 of them. We'll see if it actually sells out. It sold out.
I like the art. Don't get me wrong. I really do. But I still haven't even got my Sheldon Menery, Secret Lair. That one's still in the wings waiting.
Feel like I might have, but I'm not entirely sure.
I got 3 copies. I got 2 non-foil and 1 foil. Like, I didn't go overboard with it, but still haven't gotten them.
Yeah,
I still like
they
the
did
Just
the Da
Add
Vinci
Milk
ones.
too.
The ones that I bought, they did sell out. They are now sold out.
Okay.
So the only ones left
Cool.
now are the foil Lethal Legends edition, which I didn't think any of them were worth anything except for the Da Vinci designs. I thought those were unique, and I thought those were cool looking as far as like an art perspective, but not necessarily as a playing across the table from it.
But here's the thing: all the people that are buying them specifically for investment purposes, first off, I think they're going to be difficult to play on a real table.
That's all.
As far as investment purposes, you really better hope that art really commands that big premium, because I don't think the cards themselves command that kind of premium. By the time you pay the taxes and shipping, and then again taxes and shipping when you try to sell,
Yeah.
Good luck. And then seller fees on top of that shit. Like, really gotta be cautious when trying to make money on Magic and going through all of that hassle and then having to go down to mail your shit and it's so much hassle to make how much money. Like, I don't think they're going to go over $100, right? Like, that's just not going to
I
be a
think given
thing.
time they will.
All right, maybe.
It seems like secret lairs are fairly safe to. I mean, not financial advice, but I think secret lairs
there
are
are
one of the
some that
best
take off
ways
and
to.
some that
Yeah.
suck. That they're at or below. I don't think they generally go below, but your money is so much better if you want to make money. Invest it in the stock market. Invest
Yeah,
it
but
in
that's
other
boring.
things. Huh?
That's boring.
Okay. It's
Who
also way
wants a
less work.
stable 4.5% interest rate? I mean, really?
That's in a savings account. You don't even have to
That's
go
what
to
I'm
the stock
saying.
market for that.
That's boring. You just look at the same number. Go, ooh, I gain another 5%. Woo.
Yeah, but if it's in a stock market, you gain like 15%.
Yeah, my 401k is doing pretty good. I'm happy.
So, but I mean, there's probably dark clouds on the horizon, but you only lose money when you sell. So,
Yep.
just don't try.
Diamond hands.
Rudy's right.
Never sell.
Don't time the market. Timing the market is much better than timing it. It's the same thing with Magic. But if Magic, again, these could all go to zero quickly, and don't risk your financial future on a card game. That's just not a great strategy. Get into it for the love of the hobby and the game. Even I think Rudy gave that advice, right? Enjoy the hobby of it. Enjoy the collecting. Enjoy the whole aspect of the market as it is. And I don't like the market as it is. It just feels bad, like I'm always, giving myself paper cuts. And it's like, ugh, no. So I just hold on to what I have. I'm not interested in buying more. I even thought about asking you to pick me up a case of Wilds of Eldraine because I'm a big Eldraine kind of fan. I thought they nailed it on the first one. I'm not even
that's
sure
pretty
how
good.
well the second one looked like. And I was thinking about the Caves of Ixalan, though I wasn't a big Ixalan fan. And the only reason I'd really want it is to get high value cards, but it's just, again, for all the muss and fuss, just not worth it. So I have more boxes. I can't even draft with what we have. And additionally, I pretty much only want to play Commander Raids at this point. Kind of ruined Magic for me that I don't want to play any other format. So now I really don't know what to do with all my boxes. So careful.
I mean, my main goal of buying stuff is to either open it and use it or sell it. I'm kind of open to either one. Recently, I opened a box of Collector's Modern Horizons 3. That did not go very well, unfortunately. But
I thought you
it is
said
what
they
it is.
can't miss, that those boxes were for like printing money.
At pre-release prices, that's what I said. I said at pre-release prices, you're like printing money. They either one of two things have to happen: the cards have to go down, or the boxes have to go up. And what happened was both. I think the boxes went down, and the cards went down. The cards went down like kind of a significant amount, to be honest. See what are collector
Which
boxes for
always
Modern Horizons
happens.
3?
Like, this is not a new trend.
The Modern Horizons 3, they're at 410, so they're holding a pretty steady price. But when I go and look at like the cards that I've opened, so what I decided to do was I use this new program called Mana Box. It's like slightly better than TCG Player.
Do you have a link for it?
It's an app on your phone. You scan the cards in like you would with TCG Player, but the way that it scans the way that it puts the cards in like a display, like TCG Player doesn't have like the ability to like have them like in visual card form and then like sort them by like all kinds of different ways. You can sort by price, sort by purchase price. So like when you scan the cards in there, it keeps track of like when you put them in there and versus like like how much they've went up and down since you've had them. There's edit date, create date, name, number, purchase price, value change, quantity, mana value. So what I did is I just scanned all of the cards of Modern Horizons 3. I opened 2 play boosters and collector's boosters, and I'm down 14% from when I opened them. So it is not great, but I paid
That's 14. But hold on, that's 14% based off of what?
when I scanned them. So they went down 14% since I've scanned them. Which
That's
was
just
like
retail scanning down 14%, but that doesn't even include what you paid in taxes and shipping.
No, what I paid was $840 after everything is included, and the total price of the cards that I pulled is $721. So if they would have stayed at the normal price, I would have broken even and minus fees, so I would have lost money. Now I'm losing, we'll say 34% total value. But here's the thing. Like Bob has said multiple times, I had so much fun drafting with my friends around the table. So the play booster experience was fantastic. I like play boosters. They're super fun. They're powerful. Everybody gets a chance of opening something really, really cool. And then, of course, even if you open something cool, you have a lot of choices where, like, you might open like 4 different powerful cards, and you're like, oh crap! And like maybe you get 2 of them because it goes around the table, and somebody might not want that card. So like I don't know. It's a lot of fun for me for play boosters. So I think they're a big win for me. The collector's box, you're like also what Bob said. You're just gambling. You're just trying to hit the serialized or the textured or the Ulamogs. If you get like a full Ulamog, you pay for 2 packs. But if you get a serialized card, you get insane.
Yeah,
$1,000, $2,000. If you get a funny number like 69, it's worth like $5,000. Or number 1 probably worth a lot too.
One person is going to get that in all of the Magic audience.
Yeah. And it was a guy it was just some random dude, a viewer of one of I think his name is Charlie, one of the streamers that opens a bunch of, he's like a bigger streamer, but he started opening Magic product recently. He started opening he's like trying to open a starter deck from every Magic the Gathering set and then keep them sleeved, including Alpha Beta. He's opened them on channel before, and then he's going to sleeve them and like play with all of the starter decks starting from Alpha all the way until current or whatever. As like a thing that he's doing, getting himself introduced into Magic. It's very
but they don't have starter decks.
What?
I don't remember. Does anybody know in the audience when they stopped making starter decks? Like they stopped. I want to say at Urza's Saga.
I think he's including like precons as well.
Wait, no, Mercadian Masks had them. Let me know if anybody knows specifically when they got rid of the starter decks where you had random cards.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it's bad. I think it's cool. Like, I don't dislike him at all. But where I was getting with that was that he had somebody opened the 69 Kozilek and he bought it from them for I think it's anywhere between $3,000 and $5,000. He didn't say exactly how much, but it was definitely multiple thousands of dollars for the number 69 Kozilek, the broken reality.
No, again, that's only really appealing to the gamblers, and I don't know.
Well, I
don't think that's healthy for
the person. So, but I see what you're saying. The person that bought the packs were probably trying to get a serialized card. Maybe they weren't. I don't know. I enjoy collector packs because they're like shiny, and I like foils. So like for me, I like the collectors.
I buy them. You like tacos?
I like shinies. But no, actually, funny enough, they have not. I have to check them again. They have not pringled. The Modern Horizons 3 have not pringled.
You know what hasn't pringled? They also have not pringled on me.
I don't know what that is.
The race oil slick. The oil slick.
Oh, plants. Those have. I have had them. I've had them pringle on me a little bit.
Mine is flat. I don't know if that's coming through.
I've had them pringle just a little bit, not a ton, but a little bit.
You know what else hasn't pringled? Of course, but it's foil etched. The foil etched ones that you get in the little tins.
I like foil
Man,
etched
some of those tins. Have you looked at that? The freaking tins, the Lord of the Rings tins on TCG Player.
Oh no!
Wow, these haven't pringled either. These are what the hell is this from? Oh, Phyrexia All Will Be One, I think. That's just a regular foil land. Forest. Flat. Most of mine are pretty flat here. I got some flat cards, man.
Good. Not how I like my women. But anyways, Yeah, Modern Horizons 3, I think is overall a slam dunk. I think that going forward, we'll have to see Bloomborough, Assassin's. We'll just skip Assassin's Creed. I think that's a flop, but I think that anything beyond is going to be a flop. The Beyond boosters are just not fun for me. I don't know.
Well, when you say Beyond boosters, talking about like Aftermath.
Yeah, those are the only other ones, right? It's Beyond, and then or the Aftermath, and then now the Assassin's Creed. I don't know of any other ones, right?
Well, it's because this is the first Beyond. The other one was just Aftermath. This is Beyond.
But they were called Beyond boosters, didn't they?
I don't think so.
Even Aftermath.
Mm-mm.
Epilogue.
Epilogue. That's
Epilogue boosters. So yeah, they just re what is it called?
Branded.
Putting makeup on a pig or whatever. Still a pig.
Lipstick.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like, so the Epilogue booster is now just called the Beyond booster or whatever, and I just don't. It's just not.
But wait, hold on. The Epilogue booster only had 5 cards in it. How many are in the play boosters for Assassin's Creed?
7, I think.
Okay, whatever. So there is a difference. Whatever. I don't. You know what? I don't know. I don't know what to say about him.
But I also don't love. I don't love Assassin's Creed. I have a buddy that bought 2 Beyond boosters and he liked it. He bought actual more. He hasn't bought a Magic product in like years, and then just decided.
And you're going to find that, right?
That he bought.
There's an ass for every seat.
Sure. There's no.
And I'm not saying your buddy's an ass. I'm just saying that you're going to scratch somebody's itch with virtually any direction you go. Just like that faithless looting, horrible art. Scratch somebody's itch.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody likes it. I like Bobby Z. He probably did the. I don't know if he did that on purpose, but he has a playmat of it, and I don't know if he actually likes it.
Oh, he did that simply to spite me because he and I had animated conversations behind the scenes.
But he used it to play like just in League, like he just for other people.
Yeah,
like
and he was doing it because he knew that I watched a lot of stuff and was like. It was definitely
it was broadcasted anywhere. This was just
it's a troll
playing.
Yeah, but I could watch him playing, in Discord. He knows that I'm
if we share the screen, yeah. I miss the League. I really miss it a lot. I need to find another League. I'm sad that Jake and Joel got rid of it.
Create one.
Yeah, I don't know if we have enough followers for that, but we'll see.
Well, you just say, "Hey, I have a league here on this," and just you'll have to pick it up. The thing is, you have to put work into it, and then you're going to have to. The thing that made the league, you would never have played it if there were no prizes involved.
Yeah, but the prize pool was covered by the entry fee. The entry fee was $5 per month per person, so they were covered.
Whoa! I didn't pay any entry fee.
You did. It's called the Patreon. You couldn't play.
First of all, I paid an annual subscription, but you'd have to have a patronage for that. And
yeah, exactly. That would be what it would be. It would be for members only, and then part of the membership cost would go into the prize pool. I'm perfectly fine with that. Some people want to play for fun. Some people want to pay for prizes, and I would prefer to play. It would just be a little weird to like win my own money. So that would be strange.
Well, then if I were you, I would just disqualify it, or whatever you win, you random off.
Reinvest into random people that had like cool things happen in their games or something. I don't know. Maybe that's what the MVP would go for. Like MVP points would go, and they would win if I ever get a prize. Either way, we'll iron that out. So, but yeah, it's been a good discussion. We've talked about a lot of cool stuff. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we wrap it up, or want to?
No, we really didn't talk about the digital aspect of our lives at the moment, but I'm not doing anything new in that arena. I don't know if you have any exciting news on that, but I'm a little tired. It's been a long week with the 4th of July and all this going on, and I have other things coming up shortly. I'm glad that we could.
I had 2 hours of sleep going into the 4th of July night. That was not fun, but it was fun, but it was tiring. But then I just stayed up until 10 a.m. the next morning with only 2 hours of sleep, and then I got.
And it seems like this wasn't the worst thing ever to. Hey, Time Capsule. Sorry, we're about to wrap things up here. And we're streaming live twice on both vertical and horizontal, so we're double streaming on YouTube. Most people are over on the vertical part. But nothing new and exciting as far as I'm aware. When is PoE 2 coming out? I thought that was supposed to already be
So Path of Exile,
out by
no, they're
now.
doing it every 4 months now. They were doing it every 3 months, but I think that they've decided that it seems to be very standard now that they're doing it every 4 months. They haven't officially said it, but like they keep every single league for like the last year, they've just extended a month. So they might as well just do every 4 months instead of every 3. But yeah, the new league is announced. It's
No,
called
not League. No. PoE 2.
Oh, that's beta's end at the end of the year sometime. I don't know.
I thought they said
That's
that
what
they were going to release it or go into beta like in the
No,
summer.
there's gonna be open beta by the end of the month, end of the year. I think they said sometime September, maybe. That's what I remember. But yeah, the new league's being announced. It's been announced. It's called the Calgers, something of Calgers. I think they called it Boat League. I don't know what the hell that means, but it's been kind of a running joke in Path of Exile for the longest time about there being a boat league, and because there's been a couple boats and there's like fishing rods that don't do anything, and there's like so there's been like jokes about it. So now they're finally doing what people are assuming is called the boat league, considering their teaser was a guy standing on a boat. But the only thing that they have, it's called Settlers of Calgary. So people
Well,
think
don't
it
you
might.
take a boat over to where you unlock the maps and vaults and all that shit?
Yeah, but it's not really you don't actually do anything on the boat. This is like maybe going to be a boat centric league of some sort. Maybe, I don't know. But that was teased.
My
The only
favorite
thing we
boat.
know is the name.
My favorite boat stuff was actually in Ultima Online. You could fish up a kraken and you have to fight it at sea. You're fishing for you get treasure maps and you go. Well, actually, no. You go out in the sea. I can't remember what it is. Like treasure maps, and then you have to like have a cartographer that takes you out into the sea, and then you fish it up. And if you have somebody who has high enough, whatever, they could pull up a kraken. And you fight the kraken, or you might pull up treasure chests with massive amounts of loot in them. And it was a very cool thing. Like being out at sea. It wasn't like sea battles like a pirate ship, but it was like something to do at sea. So that was actually kind of cool. You'd look at it now and look at the graphics and go, "Oh my god, that's horrible." But the what you could do was, very, very cool. I love that game for like the paradigm breaking of what people imagine in MMOs. And I think that perhaps they have the opportunity with PAX Day. It's just unfortunate that their system specs are so high that I think they're going to clip a good portion of their audience. But because and what I mean by that is there are real professions that like that's all you do in Ultima Online is you are a cook, you are a blacksmith, you are a miner, like an artisan, or a woodworker or whatever. That's literally what your character does in the game to support the in-game economy. They have a cartographer. Now you don't choose a class. They have a shifting pool of points. You get 700 points, and each skill can go up to a maximum of 100. So you can hybridize in lots of different things, but usually it benefits you if you're a cartographer to do treasure hunting and all this other kind of stuff that so you'd fight people that were fighting would go to a dungeon, like your fighters and your mages could go kill a dragon, and in his dragon horde he'd have like 3 or 4 treasure maps, and they have different levels and require different skill sets of cartographers to decrypt the map to go find a hoard of treasure, blah blah blah. At any rate, it was just very cool that you could do things that were not just all shoot arrows, hack and slash, or heal. The triumvirate that WoW and all EverQuest and all these others established, that you can actually do other things in the game that have nothing to do with fighting. So if you're a cartographer, you got to hire a bunch of people. If you have a bunch of maps, you got to hire a bunch of fighters and healers and whatnot to go with you, because every treasure map is guarded by a horde. Now, the fighters and healers, they can't dig up the treasure maps or even find, or the treasure hordes or even find them, because you need to be a cartographer to do that. So it was very, very cool in Ultima Online. And I would like to see games, at least, I know it's cheesy and the interface is terrible and it's clunky and it's, not good compared to games of today's standard, but some of the shit that they did was amazing. And I wish that those pieces and parts could be migrated into newer and cooler looking interfaces. And I think PAX Day does say that you can do that, like that you're basically going to be, there's going to be people that all they do is pick flowers. They're just going to be the craftsmen that support the people that want to go out and PvP. So I think that that's a cool thing. Unfortunately, I can't play it because I'm not buying a PC simply to play one game. But I would like to see that direction in games where you could do something more than just fighting, right? And still interact with the world in a meaningful way. Kind of like I interact with Magic in a meaningful way with my hug deck.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to win.
You still could have came over and even just hung out, but either way, yeah.
No, I get it, but we were watching we were actually watching a movie and it got to family time at that point.
That's good. Family time is very important. As far as what I'm doing digitally, I'm playing 4 gotcha games.
Addiction.
I'm playing Zenless Zone Zero, The Wuthering Waves, AFK Journey, and the Honkai Star Wheel. So that's what I'm mainly doing with my time.
I sure hope you're not. I hope you're not dumping absurd amounts of money into them.
I'm free to play on AFK Journey. Well, I shouldn't say free to play. I'm a very light spender. I've given like $20. Wuthering Waves, I've given like 800. Honkai Star Rail over the past year, I've given them probably 200 or 300. Yeah, Wuthering Waves was a little bit of a misplay, I guess you'd say, a real life misplay. So they brought a chick out that I really, really liked. It was one of the first new characters, and I was like, I really like this character. You have to get multiple copies in order to get them to be stronger. And I wanted to get to a certain point of that character, and it took $600 to get there. Not really the best investment considering the next character that came out power crept her by a significant margin, which is something that games should not do, and they probably overstepped their boundaries and pissed a few people off, myself included. Because my $600 would have been better spent on this new character versus the other character, but the character is still usable. It's just not as good. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend spending money like that unless you have it. I'm okay with it because it's a newer game. It's from a developer that is trying to compete with the mega whales like Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Wheel, which is from who the hell makes Genshin? I don't know. Hoyoverse. Hoyoverse is like this massive conglomerate. They make hundreds of millions of dollars per month, with their mobile games, and this like smaller companies coming in. So I'm okay with supporting them. Like Path of Exile, I've given them $3,000 over the course of like I think 10 years of playing. That's all purely microtransaction. I don't even gain any power from it. It's just to support the game. So that's how I treat my money. Like part of it was that I wanted the character to be stronger and I wanted to be stronger in the game. But there's no like PvP, so there's like no like. The only benefit is that I'm just beating the content in the game easier. But I'm just enjoying the character, the way it plays with more money investment, I guess. So most of it was to support the game, but also was because I wanted it. So it's kind of a, only spend wisely for sure on mobile games. They can be very predatory and very very expensive to get the things that, like, you watch these streamers, they're spending like $1,000 the first day a game comes out. I at least played, a month or so before I gave them a total of $800 or whatever. Not that it's wise of decision, but I have the money to just kind of, I guess, do that. I'm fortunate enough to where I'm in a good position. So,
and that, folks, is why you should support us. Give us the thumbs up, subscribe, share our channels. Now we're doing it. Share our channel with other people. Now we're doing it 2 times. Both
2 times,
vertical and horizontal, at the same time. We'll work it out. We'll get some of the other things smoothed out. We'll try to work on the chat. We'll try to work on other features here with it in the coming weeks. Bear with us. Thank you so much, everybody, for showing up, and Matt for being here tonight. I've absolutely enjoyed having this conversation, and everybody in the audience with you as well. We'll try to unify and sync that up and try to make it easier for all of you. We want it to be an easy experience for everybody out there. So thanks for bearing with us, and we'll try to smooth this out as we move along.
Yep, looking over the analytics, it looks like a lot more people enjoy the vertical than horizontal, which is interesting. So, but yeah, like you were saying, it's a little awkward having the chats in 2 different spots. So I will look into seeing if there's a way to join the 2, so that both people can enjoy chatting together. I know that there's like third-party programs that everybody would have to like click the link to like go then chat together, which is also awkward because then we'd have to constantly give the people the links to. It's just we'll look into it. If worse comes to worse, this is just what it'll be because that is what it is, and you'll just have to pick which one you want to interact with, whether it's vertical or horizontal. But we will try to integrate if possible. So thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll be back here at the same time, same bat channel, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next Saturday. And then if you want some D&D action, Sunday, tomorrow, we've got some D&D action with Nate as our dungeon master doing his made-up adventure. So yeah, come check us out 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for tomorrow for D&D. Thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all next time.
Peace.
I got to end stream on 2.